can't. Is your audio on?
Now it is. If I'd read the sign that said join audio.
It's early for all of us.
Yeah, sorry to make it be so early here.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. I have to tell you, I'm very nervous. So
Yeah.
I'm a super fan. Yeah, and I can't tell you before we get into your charity live stream. I got to give you a little history of me and Mystery Science Theater. I hope you don't mind, because
Go ahead.
I'm borderline super fan stalker. So I'm just like right in between there. Okay, so
I don't see you out the window, so we're safe.
no, I'm baking alive here in Las Vegas. I think I discovered Mystery Science Theater back when on the Ha channel, just like before it became Comedy Central.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just being up at 1 a.m. and saying, "What the hell is what is this?" and becoming a fan and having viewing parties when I was going to college at UNLV. We would all gather around, and to the point where I taped everything. I mean, I taped every turkey-thon, everything. I had maybe 100 videotapes.
Oh really? Wow.
And I don't know if you can tell, but of course,
I see that 1991.
I had to put my glasses on. This is the convention, 94.
Oh, 94.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is 1994. I know it's a long time ago.
Wow.
So, okay.
Wow. And then when did I see you in? We were doing press for the movie. That had to be
90. When did the movie come out?
95.
Was it?
Maybe 94 or 95. I don't remember.
Okay, you're ruining my reveal.
Or 96.
I've got the laser disc of the movie right here.
Oh wow! It came out on Laserdisc.
It did. I was a big laserdisc collector. Look at this. I have to look up. I can't even remember what year this was. Oh, for crying out loud! Anyway, we're both old.
Do you still have a disc player?
I do. I have one, but I sold all my laserdiscs back in 1985 when I graduated from high school. I started my own video store here in Las Vegas, and by 1991 I had 5 of them. But Blockbuster was coming to town. But So I sold everything, went back to school, went to film school, and that's when I met my partner, David Neal, who did a movie show with me. We graduated. We went to ABC and CBS and NBC, and he went on to do other things, but I still was a critic 25 years in the making here. And he was a huge fan, too. And so when the convention, look at this. I won't go through everything I have. I'm not going to bore you, but look, here's
nice.
Like that. I think what a great little bio of you right there.
Oh yeah, so we were all so young. Oh, and
I got the convention here, and of course I got what you sold at the convention. Here's the little press kit that you sold, and you're on the back. I don't know if you still have any of these in your collection, but
I have nothing really. I have some originals of drawings and things that I did at the KTMA days.
Look, here's
I have a few things.
The picture that came at the convention.
Boy, that was it, huh? What a cheap bunch
oh,
of
no.
We were.
I rehearsed this because a stupid thing. There we go. There and that.
Nice. And that was all. That was our press kit. Wow.
Well, this was not only that. This is what you sold at the convention. I have other things too. And then some lady named Barbara Olson from Comedy Central.
Yeah. Barb Olson worked for Best Brains.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
And I also have all the Satellite of Love newsletters somewhere in a box. I couldn't find everything. Even the Crow's Nest. I don't know if you remember that newsletter.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So all the Crow's Nest. And I have your 1997 calendar.
Nice. That'll be useful again when the dates line up.
And one of my favorite photos from, just to sneak up there, great Mike Nelson. And of course, I've got, which won't fit anymore, I've got my convention t-shirt.
Ooh, it looks so clean.
It is. Well, I never could wear an XL. I was always a big guy. And get this. So going to the convention, it was just great. I went to the Best Brains tour. I was on one of the tours that did that. Right. And I'd never been to Eden Prairie or Minnesota in my life. And seeing you guys do This Island Earth live in downtown Minneapolis, I understand that's when you had all the Universal Studios people there, and that reaction is what greenlit the movie, I understand.
Yeah. We'd shopped it. We went to Paramount, and they said no. I think those were the guys who said, because we came in, we're going to be like a $2 million film, and they said, we cannot promote a $2 million film because it'll cost us $8 million to promote it. So make an $8 million film. And so we wrote a script that was probably more than 8 million, but it was really cool. We had a convention in Vegas, mad scientist convention.
You did?
And out in the
I
park.
missed that.
in the script.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. So we were going to have like guys with their own Godzillas, and you'd see like Hitler coming out of like a time machine and disappearing into the crowd. And that's where Frank and Forrester were going to get, re-establish their credentials as mad scientists. And Crow had a dream sequence and all this elaborate stuff. And then we showed them the script, and they said, why don't you make it more like the TV show, like cheaper, like make $1 million movie? Because so then we went to Universal, and they went, Casey Silver said, what the fuck? I get it. Let's do it.
I remember I interviewed Mike Nelson a few years later when the video started coming out from Shout, and I asked him, I go, one of the very first jokes when I saw it live was, this island Earth doesn't shine for me anymore. I'll never forget that. I go, what happened? It didn't make the movie. And he said, Gary Lewis wouldn't give permission to use it.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because movies are different than television for fair use.
Right. TV, we could do like up to 5 seconds, I think, of a song. I think we blew past that marker several times. The only time we got sued or someone cared about their music was, I think it was one of those, maybe those Commando Cody's or one of those serials where there was a big, like robot thing, clunky robot. And we said, I'm a little teacup. And that guy came after us.
Really?
Steven Tyler never, every time we got in an elevator going down, Mr. Tyler, all those things, the Rolling Stones, Beatles, none of that stuff.
Right.
The guy that had I'm a Little Teacup said, no, that's mine.
When Tom Servogo went, this island Earth can be yours if the price is right. I just remember that just set in motion the audience, seeing that live, and just having a great experience. And get this, my buddy David Neal, who was I met after, we became the movie guys at UNLV, right? And then we came out after that professionally. He brought me the videotape of the convention. You guys sold like a diary afterward. And I had brought this VHS back. This is back in the late 90s. I taped your guys' conference. So he shows me, I don't know what happened to it, but he goes, you got to see this. So he showed me the Best Brains official diary. And there's a cutaway from that of me looking from behind my camera. I'm like, cool. So, and I don't know what happened to that tape. It's been, 20 years. I'm trying to, it lost it, but I made the official MST diary that you guys sold. So I thought that was cool.
That's cool. That must be on YouTube somewhere. Nothing ever gets lost. And then I'm constantly amazed at like behind the scenes photos that I've never seen before. And this is back on the day when we just had cameras.
Right.
Someone had to find that print and then scan it and put it on the internet. And it's like, where did that come from? Why haven't I seen that before?
Well, very little was made for the movie. I have the press kit for the movie somewhere. I saw it like a couple months ago. I can't figure out I've torn up my house looking for it, but I have the press kit for the movie, all the photos and all the stuff like that. And also, when we were going to UNLV, Comedy Central was doing the Fresh Cheese Tour and sending Zombie Nightmare to colleges around the country. Las Vegas wasn't on the list. So I jump on the phone to Comedy Central. And I'm like, and then we have an Art Deco theater here called the Hunter's Theater that opened in the 40s. It's closed now, but back then we were trying to get it going again. They were showing concerts and stuff. And I said, I want Zombie Nightmare for our college and they were great. They sent the print. I think it was 16 millimeter. Not many movie theaters can show 16 millimeter, but I got a projector from a big audiovisual company here in town. They donated it. And I still have my Fresh Cheese Comedy Central. Oh,
nice. That's also very clean.
Yeah. Well, I would wear it once and then put it in the closet. So it goes like that. So that was a thrill. And then, of course, when I started coming out of college, I wrote for the Las Vegas Weekly. I did an interview with Mike Nelson when the video started. which was great. And here's the photo they sent.
Oh, nice.
I still have it. And it's great because this was in December of 98. And we did Patrick Swayze Christmas. We printed out the lyrics and everything. So we just had a good time. I'm just saying, Trace, I have just been a fan for so long, and I'm just so happy to talk to you. And you guys still keeping the vision alive, you know. And I remember when I was at UNLV, we did our movie show once a week. As a inside joke, at the end of our credit roll, I put "keep circulating the tapes." You know,
Oh, cool.
So only the right people will get that. And I remember the university coming to me going, "You're going to get us in trouble because these are copyrighted." I go, "No. It's just I'm not encouraging people to circulate, you know, our tapes. It's just it's an inside joke, you know." And somewhere on 3/4, I have our interview from Planet Hollywood in Phoenix when I came out. It's somewhere on 3/4 tape, you know.
Oh,
this was a while ago. Yeah.
I think I might have like beta copies of all that stuff, all the press stuff.
Well, I had to bribe one of the newscasts that were there because Dave and I couldn't afford to hire a crew. We flew out on our own, but I remember somewhere I have the master of us talking, so I'll have to look for it. But I know. I bet I have
a copy of that too, but it's all on because they compiled all that stuff for us and then gave it to us on something that is now unplayable. I think I have a history of unplayable tapes from various incarnations of video cameras.
Oh, and the final thing I'll show you before we start about the live stream, check this out. Here's a giant poster.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's it.
And somewhere in my collection, you signed a one sheet of the movie and also a mini poster you have signed for him somewhere. Again, somewhere in my collection, I can't find it. So I hope I geeked out enough with you and haven't scared you yet. So.
Oh no! If you PM me your address, I'll send you a Glen an actual poster.
Oh, that would be cool.
I see you have there in somehow electronically. You have it suspended in over Dolores Fuller there.
How's Frank feeling these days? He's a friend of mine on Facebook too, but you know, is he doing
Frank's
good?
doing good. You know, I think his timing was perfect for having his heart surgery last year. But yeah, he's doing good. We talk like once a week. Well, a little more often now because we've got this event coming up next week. But he's good. He's grateful to be alive and very happy to have had great, you know, care and, you know, got in and out under the wire.
And so you have a special live stream Tuesday, July 21st at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Mads are doing Glen or Glenda and benefits the NAACP. It's an endowment. It's a special.
Yeah. You know, there's so many charities around right now to choose from, and that seemed to be, you know, the one that needed attention. But you know, we're amateurs at this, so this is all new for us, as it is for a lot of people. This whole lockdown thing is really defining the future and how we're going to you know, behave in the next years.
Yeah, because I know Joel was doing something last year. He had a tour going on, and I was trying to see it in LA or even, and everything was sold out. I mean, everything sells out. So there's such a demand still for your guys' brand of comedy. But why Glen or Glenda? I know it's public domain from hell, but is that one of the favorites or?
Well, you know, when we started touring as the Mads, it was Frank called me up and said, "Hey, I've got this opportunity for us to riff a movie at an atheist convention. The head of the group is a big fan, and he wants us to come out and riff. I think we were going to do the Christmas movie that I can't remember the child star. I'm blanking on his name, and that's okay. So we wound up doing God's Not Dead." And
Christopher Hitchens, I've read it many times.
Yeah, it's such a bombastic movie, and so that it was, you know, fish in a barrel for us because the audience is all there for, you know, make fun of this thing. And that was the first time we got together. The second time we were going to a little club in Denver, and we go, well, we got to find a movie. What should we do? We want to do Plan 9. Everyone does Plan 9. Reefer Madness, because it's Denver. Everyone smokes weed. Like, that's a little nail on head. I go, what about Glen or Glenda? I haven't seen that in like 30 years. Let's dust that off and see what that's like. It's still, uh, the the subject matter of the film is very relevant today. This is 5 years ago, and it's still relevant. And we went and looked at it and went, it's kind of a great movie. It's got everything we need to riff on. Plus, the subject matter is very contemporary, and we're not making fun of the subject matter. We're making fun more of the movie itself and the framework that very heavy subject is suspended in. So that was our choice. That's the long answer, and it's public domain.
It is. I think the first time I ever even heard of Glen or Glenda, there was a great documentary back in the 80s called It Came from Hollywood with Jimmy Candy and Dan Aykroyd. And they did a whole Ed Wood tribute inside that. And that's the first time this man is a transvestite, just I'm like, that's the first time I ever heard of that movie. So I haven't seen it in many years, and I'm looking forward to watching it. You guys riff on it. And, but it's carefully scripted, isn't it? Most people think there's no room for improv, because if you improv, it would be a train wreck, wouldn't it?
Well, Frank and I approach this a little differently than Mystery Science. We do fully script each movie, and then that's sort of our starting point. And we stay pretty close to the script that we've written, but there's always room for improv and, a new idea. Some of the most inspired things happen on the fly, and you go, wow, I don't think I even thought of that before my mouth said it. And so those happy accidents, what I really love about the live show, and I miss it. I would prefer to do a live show than put something on tape or live stream. This is as close to live as we can, because we're still live, I guess, aren't we?
No, you're live. Yeah, you're
as close as you can get.
But you're doing it safely. You're still giving fans what they want, but you have to adapt to the times right now.
Yeah, exactly. And that was Frank's concept of like, we gotta, exactly what you said, we gotta figure out a new way of doing our business.
And especially afterward, you have a Q&A with fans. So talk about
I think that'll work. They'll type in their questions, and then we'll see them on the screen, and then we can answer which ones we want to. It's all new territory.
I have a roommate that's 25, and he's never heard of Mystery Science Theater, and it's hard to show somebody. What example do you show them for the first time? There's so many great ones. I have personal favorites from The Day the Earth Froze, Attack of the Giant Leeches, and so many. But I think, of course, the go-to answer is Manos Hands of Fate. And
unfortunately, that's very popular.
And well, I showed it to him, and halfway through the movie, he's just not laughing. He's not doing anything. And I'm like, oh my God, this is bombing. These millennials don't get it. And for a good solid week, the master once, he started quoting the movie later. And I go, I thought you hated this. He's like, no. And he just started quoting every line from the movie every day. So I told him, stop, you're driving me crazy. But it still has an impact. I can't believe that many years later, you guys are still doing your unique brand of comedy. It's reaching a whole new generation.
Yeah, we got little kids, we got old people, everybody, all cross section of humanity. And it's really invigorating to see families, come out. Mom and dad got their kids into it, or the kids got the parents into it. So it's, I miss that. I miss seeing people and meeting people. I'm mostly a hermit, so I put all my social effort into that interaction when we do live shows. Now I don't know what to do. I guess I'll mow the lawn.
I'm a Devo fanatic, and they played here in Vegas a few times over the years. And the most recent concerts, I'm there, and there are families bringing their kids, to Devo concerts. I'm just like, oh my God, So you've got 14-year-olds, and they're all jumping and singing. They know every word to every Devo song. So yeah, that's
awesome. That's awesome.
I agree.
I went to a Weird Al concert, and
isn't he the best live?
It's one of the best concerts I have ever seen in my life.
I've seen him at least 5 or 6 times, and I tell people he's not up there with an accordion being an idiot. This man's a musical genius. The production values. I mean, he sells out everywhere he goes.
Yeah, he's my age, and he's got more energy than I had when I was half of this age. And his band is great because they have to sound like every band.
Right. Yeah.
It's the tightest, best concert, you know.
When he does Amish Paradise, you're like, oh, this is great. And all of a sudden behind him, you have a choir of Amish women holding candles on this giant video screen, giving the harmonies. And you're just like, what is going on? Yeah. He's just amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't recommend it. And the nicest man in show business, I think, bar none. He's just the greatest guy.
His Hamilton parody video came out a couple years ago. Is blowing up on YouTube now because of Hamilton premiering on Disney Plus. So he's in the eye of everybody right now. So I love Weird Al. I'm glad to hear you say that. So.
Yeah, you know, I wasn't into him in the early days. I saw the MTV, all those things, and I loved all that stuff. But my wife was a huge fan and had all the albums. And it's like, how do you know this and I don't? How did I miss this?
I was the 12-year-old with my stereo playing the AM or the FM, listening to Dr. Demento coming through from LA.
Exactly.
Yeah,
yeah,
so
when you had to tape off the radio by putting your tape recorder next to it.
Right. And then one Christmas I got the Emerson. That was the record player and the cassette built into it. So then I could tape my records or off the radio directly.
Oh, I didn't know they had that.
Yeah, but I was a huge Dr. Demento fan, you know, and then all of a sudden that's where I discovered Weird Al. And, you know, being a kid from the 80s, all his parodies from, you know, you name it. I've been a fan. I can't believe it's been that long. And he looks fantastic, and his energy, like you said, he's great. But you look good too. Being a hermit, you still look good.
Yeah, I haven't had a haircut in 6 months or whatever it is. Yeah, it's my nature.
We'll get cleaned up for the live stream. You gotta look good for the live stream.
Yeah, I'll get a new curtain here.
Well, Trace, you know, that's all I got for you today. You know, thank you so much for joining me. This has been a thrill like you wouldn't believe. I remember at the convention, you know, you were signing autographs. We were going down the line. I'm a huge fan of Tom Servo too and Kevin Murphy. And when I got to you, there was one question that a reference for one of the shows I couldn't understand what's from. And you always go, "Do you want to go faster?" You know, and I couldn't remember what it sounded so familiar. And you told me at those carnivals, those things that spin around, the guy would go, "You want to go faster?" in the microphone. I remember you telling me that, and I was like,
"Yeah, like
it bugged me."
Like a Alpine theme thing.
Those county fairs, yeah. Oh, you made a reference to that one of the shows. I'm like, what is that from? And for years, it drove me crazy. And then in one swoop, you went, "Oh, it's from the fair, the county fair, the guy at the microphone." I'm like, excellent. Well, Trace, good luck. I'll be watching on the 21st, and let's do this again soon. I'd love to talk to you some more.
Yeah, no problem. Let me know and DM me. I'll send you a poster.
Appreciate it. Tell Frank I said hi.
I will. Thanks a lot, man.
All right, take care.
Okay, bye.